The Dungeon of the Reptile God. The dungeon, Greyhawk Hex 112 H5. 112 H5. It's apparently down here. I don't know. Down here somewhere, apparently. After a wearisome trek through a seemingly endless sea of rushed, the adventurers will see a low barrier in front of them. Soon thereafter, they will reach this barrier, a circular dike made from mud and wood. The dike holds the swamp water back from a small island of dry land, barely 50 feet across. If the tired band of adventurers elects to spend the night here, they will have no encounters. They will have rest soon, however, or begin to suffer fatigue, -2 from all hit rolls. If the players ask, they will find that the water level in the swamp is above the entrance to the dungeon. Thus, if the dike were destroyed, the labyrinth would slowly fill with water. If the group should attempt this at the present time, however, the dungeon's inhabitants would soon emerge to see what was causing the leak. The dike would be quickly repaired, and the party members fleeing through the marsh would soon be overtaken by monsters as capable of much swifter movement in the mucky environment. If Ramney is present, he will strongly advise against flooding the dungeon before exploring it, mentioning that there may well be helpless prisoners somewhere down there. Special note: if Ramney is not present or is killed, the party should find a scroll with a minor globe of invulnerability spell and a dispel magic spell, 7th level caster ability, before they reach the final encounter. They will need these spells to have a chance against the Naga. Entry to the dungeon is easy, since there is a gaping hole in the ground at the centre of the dry land. If a character looks down this, he will see, or she will see, a muddy set of wooden stairs descending into the earth. The corridor within is about 10 feet high and the same distance wide. General description of dungeon conditions. The lair of the reptile god differs somewhat from the average subterranean setting in that it has been excavated in an area of soggy dirt, not rock. Corridors will be 10 feet high and 10 feet wide unless otherwise indicated, and at 5-foot intervals the walls and ceiling will be supported by massive, though visually slightly rotten, timbers. The wooden doors will be swollen with moisture and will generally be stuck closed. Important. The dampness is inescapable, as are the smells of rot, mould and swamp gas. The floor is always wet and slippery, but in some areas a thick layer of mud must be walked through. These places are indicated on the map with shading, and the DM must mention that movement is slowed to half the usual rate when the group encounters one of these areas. In some cases, which will be mentioned in the key, movement is slowed even more drastically. In addition, a slurping sound is produced when the party passes through the mud, eliminating any chance of surprising a quiet and stationary creature. Water trickles down everywhere through the tunnels, working its way down to the pump room 29. Let's have a look where 29 is. Here's the map. Pump room in 29. I guess that might even be in level 2. Here it is. 29 here, apparently. Pump room. Doesn't look like a room. Anyway, this trickling should be mentioned frequently to distract players. Okay. Wandering monsters skulk through the tunnels of the reptile god's lair. Different wandering monster tables are given for the first and second levels of the dungeon, so be sure to consult the appropriate chart.